To get your business growing, you know you need to get leads in, and then you need to convert those leads to customers. There's a sales stat that keeps coming up that says if you want to do that, you have to contact them within 5 minutes and no later than an hour after they come in. But as a business owner, often you only contact them when you can get around to it, maybe a couple hours later or the next day, and by then they've already contacted somebody else. It's not that you don't want to contact them instantly, it's just that you have other things to do and you can't, but your system can. So in this video, I'm going to show you the system that I built that makes sure that any new lead gets contacted in that 5-minute time frame, and in most cases within 30 seconds. Now this channel, as I've said before, has to do with implementation. So on this video, what I'm going to do is actually show you the tools that I used to build this, but like the framework that we went over in the last video, the tools are the last part of the framework. The first part is knowing what the destination is. The second is having a map to get to that destination, and then it's figuring out the tools. So let's start with the map. We already know the destination. The destination, as we already said, is contacting every lead that comes in within 5 minutes, preferably within 30 seconds. So the map for doing that is we start with the lead. Somebody is on your website and fills out a form. The form comes in. So what happens to it? In a lot of businesses, it just comes into an email box, and if there's only an owner there and maybe one or two other people and they're all very busy, they may not see it right away, or they see it and they're in the middle of a phone call or doing some other work, and then they put it off until later. So we don't want that to happen, because the person who filled in the form is hearing nothing back from you, and then they're going to start looking for somebody else to work with. So in this workflow, in this map, the person fills out the form on the website, it comes in, and it automatically goes into your database. And then once it's in there, a personalized email is sent out to the person that's tailored to their request for help from you, either about your product or your services. And at the same time, there's a notification that's sent to somebody on your team that came in. Often this is set up, but this isn't. So the person doesn't hear back from you until you reach back out to them. We're going to try and avoid that delay by setting this up. So now that I had the map, I was able to determine what tools to use. And the first tool I used is called N8N, which has to do with automating the steps of a procedure. They call that a workflow. There's a procedure that's done, there's different steps one after another, and that's a workflow. So this is the workflow for what we were showing here, and this is in N8N, and the steps are that there's a connection to the online form so that when somebody fills it out, it automatically triggers this workflow to go into effect and all these steps to be done. Once that form information comes in, this section of the workflow pulls the data out. Their name, their phone number, their email address, what they want from you. And then right after that information is pulled out, then there's a record that's created in another piece of software called Airtable. So this is Airtable, which is a database, which you can see has all of the information on people who have filled out forms with their name, their email address, their phone number. These are the ones that came in from the website. There are other ones that came in as referrals or other places. And here's the information that came in and when it came in. So this is a table that I put together for demonstration purposes. These aren't actual clients. But let's see how this actually works. The form is filled out, the information is extracted, a lead is created in Airtable, and then the information that came in goes to an AI platform called Claude. What Claude does is it then takes the information and creates an email that's personalized based on what the request is from the lead. That personalized email then gets sent out to that person that filled out the form, and then a notification gets sent to somebody at the company that a form was filled out by somebody who needs to be contacted. So let's now see how this actually works. First, I'm going to go and fill out the form from this made-up company called Alfred Construction Company. This is a project request form, so I'm going to fill in my name and my email address. Let's see, I have a special one that I set up for doing demonstrations on YouTube. And then we'll just put in some number and choose this as being from a referral, let's say, and tell us about your project. We need to put a 4th and 5th floor on our office building, and we want to get estimates for doing that. So that is what they're requesting, and then we click the button to submit the information for a free quote. And once we do, going back here, what's going to happen is the information is going to come in here, information is going to be pulled out to then go into Airtable, and the rest of the steps will get done. Now, this is where we can see if it works successfully. It's now 6:57 p.m. and I'm going to send this form, go back to N8N, and this was the last time that it was run, and it was run successfully. And hopefully you can see now, here's the one where it was just run, and it says it succeeded. All of the boxes have green around them, so that means that was done correctly. So now we'll go here, and you can see that it now has my name with this information in here. When I showed it to you before, this Olivia Wilson was the last record. This is now the one that says we need to put a 4th and 5th floor on our office building. You can see it came in today, 6:57 p.m., which was just now. Now that was the next step, which was creating the record in Airtable. So after that, we have the email message that's created by the AI step in this automation. And this whole thing is an automation. This is an AI tool that automatically puts together a custom email based on what the person filled in. So let's see. Here is the email that just came out, 6:57 p.m. Says, thanks so much for reaching out, Ron. That's an exciting project, and we'd love to help you explore options for expanding your office building. Adding those 2 floors is a significant undertaking, and we'd want to understand your timeline, budget, and vision before putting together an estimate that actually makes sense for you. And then it asks about setting up a phone call to discuss it. That's the email that gets sent out. That's the custom content in here that Claude put together. And at the same time, there's a notification that's sent saying this new lead submitted a form through the website, has my name, email address, phone number, source of being a referral. And again, it shows here what they said, which is we need to put a 4th and 5th floor on our office building, and we want to get estimates for doing that. And it confirms an automated reply has already been sent to them. So you can see, based on what happens here, that we got this outcome. We made it to the destination. The lead submitted the form, which I filled out and showed you that. It automatically created a new record in the database in Airtable, sent the personalized email to them, and sent the internal team notification. So that was exactly what happened here. So this is how all leads that come in can be contacted within 30 seconds, basically, but definitely within the 5-minute mark. And they feel like they have been contacted by somebody who has received their email or their request, rather than just some random template email that says, hi, we got your form. We'll talk to you soon. That's much better to have something like what we had here, which goes into detail as far as what they're trying to do, and it sounds like a person actually talking back to them. So this is how you can set this up. Again, the tools that you would need is you'd need N8N, you would need Claude, you would need, the form is created in a tool called Tally, so you would need that for your form. Unless you already have forms on your site, then you wouldn't need that. You would need Airtable or some other CRM or database if you already have one, and then Gmail. So those are the various tools that you need. If you want to put it together, you can follow along with this video. If you want to have more information as far as how this was set up, I can assist you with that. Contact me through the channel here. And you can also, if you have questions, put them in the comments below. If you like this video and it's helpful to you, give me a thumbs up and maybe even subscribe to the channel. And if you don't want to do all of this by yourself and you'd like some help, then go down, look in the description. There's a link to set up a call with me, and so I can maybe help you with this or even do it for you. And there's also a quiz down there. There's a link to a quiz down in the description so you can find out whether your business is AI ready. Thank you for joining me in this video. There's going to be more to come. If you have any topics that you want to have covered, then just put that down in the comments. I really appreciate you showing up and spending this time with me, and I hope that what I provide you is valuable and helps you out, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.